professional, also a perfect record. 35 fights, 35 victories, including 32 by knockout, including 22 consecutive KOs, and he has KO'd every opponent he's faced over the last 8 years. This Olympic medalist from Karaganda, Kazakhstan, is the reigning, defending, undefeated, universally recognized true middleweight champion of the world, Gennady Golovkin,
John Jones is a bad guy. That guy, if we were living 1,000 years ago, he would be on a horse with the biggest battle axe, waiting in the back, hacking heads off, and everybody would be running. And those people have always existed. These dominators have always existed.
Yeah, and back to more good news. We now have a governing arrangements within the GNU that enables all of us to work together and get real work done. We have the ANC supporting the cause of all South Africans, and we should therefore have all South Africans behind the ANC. That is our ruling party. It's not about being patriotic. It's about doing the right thing for the sake of not just this country, your family, your job, but your future generations. Excuse me. This is why a presidential oversight committee is absolutely the worst thing the GNU could invoke on the Ramaphosa administration. And bear in mind, this is coming from the sleeper NAW agents within the GNU that seek to infiltrate the Marvel Avengers by spewing horseradish in the ears of good people. We need our president to look strong to the superpowers. He needs as much leverage as possible when negotiating on our behalf, which is something we need him to do. This requires us to trust him to some degree. Trust him to have our best interests at heart, and I mean he is a man of his word. Look at all his initiatives, look at the trade deals, look at the bills he's passed and stuff he's launched, his management of COVID-19, his fiscal agenda, his take on conflicts both local and abroad, how he spearheaded both peace agreements with Russia, Ukraine, as well as Israel and Palestine. He has been integral in also getting the Brics bloc on board to the issue of Palestine and the genocide. That's without mentioning how integral he was in the ICJ ruling. He stood tall in the face of adversity, either by local opposition or new international rivals and adversaries and their subsequent unions. South Africa needs to work together. Nationalism without racism is patriotism. And I just like to give big flowers to Ernst Roets as well as Zimasa Vibasa. I think these guys are doing God's work. I think they're doing good work. I think they're doing amazing work, and I really value and respect their opinions and the work that they're bringing in. I would love, like if God willing, my media company allows, to be on a panel sitting with these gents, and just showcasing what the Rainbow Nation really is, and what our opinion as a country really is. Having an African man, like I don't believe in race, but whatever you want to call me, and then obviously an Afrikaans gentleman, they're just talking, and we all come from different backgrounds, we all come from different generations, we have different affiliations, different likes and dislikes, hobbies and interests, but it'd be great to obviously just sit around the fire with those gents, and then lastly, I would just like to say, I have no political affiliation to any party whatsoever, but I do stand for United South Africa. I do stand for peace in the world, no wars or genocide, and I am actively fighting against evil people. That'll never stop. Once a cowboy, you forever a cowboy. When they ask you to ride, you go and ride. So yeah, but I am a very proud Christian conservative. So I do prescribe to conservative Christianism. I'm obviously an Orthodox Christian, so I'm not a happy clapper. I bought a Mazda, I should have bought a Honda Type, where you actually see a lot of the sex scandals and drugs happening in those kind of churches, the ones that are obviously against like the Free Palestine and Donald Trump and stuff of that nature. So I do fully support Palestine, and I also fully support the solidarity movement as well as a government of national unity. And I stand first and in front of my president's gates, not behind him. I'd also like to say Steve Hofmeyr is an incredibly smart man. I know that some people might find me and blackball me and say, like, I'm already blackballed, so what the fuck, but find it offensive that I say that, and I do want to discuss his opinion on Roets' show, maybe today, maybe tomorrow, but yeah, I think he's a very smart man. I think that, like I always said, you got to take the meat off the bones. He is entitled to his own opinion. Freedom of speech is a thing. You can't hang a person in public court before they have their day in a public court. You give a dog a bad name, you hang him. I think he has a lot of valid points. I think he's an incredibly smart man. He's an incredibly strong man. I think he has some great opinions, and I think it's a real injustice, not just to him and the people he represents, but at this stage, not even South Africa, but the world as a whole, for us to say shut him up because of what he did in his past, or shut him up because he still stands on this. No, okay, yeah, he might think the sky is purple, but that doesn't change the fact that he may know the laws of physics off by heart. And if you, the person that wants to know the laws of physics, then fuck the sky, whether it's blue or purple, learn the laws of physics from that man. And that's why I say, to some degree, we all need to sing for our supper. And it's what you want. What are you hungry for? That is where you need to fall. Just some jail slang. That is where you need to be subservient to another gentleman or another lady, where you need something from them and you need to fall being subservient to a person, and I just want to quickly segue that into talking about that in real time there's two clear divisions, and we are seeing in real time a shift of culture that is going to be happening, that I said was going to happen, where we see a realignment. We see kind of a flat line now of saying, okay, this could possibly be a jump, or we could go down, and this is our new normal now for the next 4 years or so. Because what has been happening for the last 8 years, I would say, it's just been a pretty crazy time in world politics, in the world, in your own personal life, I can tell you. So yeah, we're seeing the good people have taken a stand, the good people have won, and now as time goes by, you're going to see those effects on your personal life, God willing, so I'm very happy for that. I do think that there will be some talks of people saying, hey, you know what, I'm sitting on the fence here, let me just go. And I think a very important thing for us to do as South Africans is make our questions yes or no. If we tailor it into that kind of package of yes or no, the divisions and the lines are much clearer. And if we start off by saying, before we even have that experiment of saying stand here or stand there, and doing our own form of polling, we need to say, okay, this is what the guidelines are, this is what the ground rules are, this is what you are allowed, this is what you are given. Just like how when you pass beginner Monopoly, you're given whatever the amount is, people need to say, okay, this is what I'm being given with first. This is what I have in my pocket first. This is my rights. This is what's in my wallet. Okay, these are my guidelines. This is what protects me. These are the parameters. Then we can start doing that polling of yes and no. So, big ups to Steve Hofmeyr, big ups to Ernst, big ups to Zimasa, Vibasa, Mustafa himself. So just basically, if you don't understand, I think Steve Hofmeyr is to Afrikaners what AKA is to me. Which a lot of people will say, hey, AKA is this abuser, he's a drug addict, he's an alcoholic, he did this, he did that. But there's a lot more to him than that, just like there's a lot more to Steve Hofmeyr. Just like how Big Nas is to some of our brothers, and he did some stuff and he does some stuff, and I'm talking about Mampincha, and he got away with some stuff too, and we all in the shit together, man. And as we say in jail, this is what I want to end off with. As we say in jail, my brother from another mother, but same blood. So Godspeed, ladies and gents. God bless South Africa, and God bless her citizens.